And whereas the town of Holyrood and StartupNL have identified ocean technology as a strategic development opportunity, and whereas the town of Holyrood has established the Oceans Holyrood Initiative and is the location of Fisheries and Marine Institute of Memorial University, Holyrood Marine Base, Center for Applied Ocean Technology, CTEC, and Center for Offshore Safety and Survival. And whereas both StartupNL and the town of Holyrood have a role to play in supporting further growth of the oceans technology sector within their areas in conjunction with industry and other government agencies. And whereas both StartupNL and the town of Holyrood have expressed an interest in cooperation, coordination, and shared resources to build capacity to support their ocean technology goals. Roger, the rest is for you to read. Right. Be it resolved. You take that down to the next page.
So be it therefore resolved that StartupNL and the town of Holyrood agree to support the objectives above and commit to the following activities. Formally agree that this MOU identify the BeachHead as the facility to foster the growth and success of ocean technology companies. Identify that the BeachHead, Holyrood, will be the preferred location for ocean technology startups. Recognize the three pillars of the StartupNL and the Town of Holyrood partnership as being community partnership, co-location, and coordination, and sharing of other key contacts and awareness of best practices arising from other jurisdictions involved in economic development, particularly those relating to ocean technology development. Resolved on this 9th day of October 2015 at Holyrood, Newfoundland. Let's sign it.
Okay, Roger.
Up from around there, Gary.
You can, or we can sign it over there. I'll put it over there. We can sit down and sign it.
I'll come here so Jason can grab a picture.
Oh, okay.
All in the composition.
Two copies, one for.
It's on good paper too, guys.
Sign first.
So that's the serious signature. This is the fun signature.
Wish I had a signature like
With a
that.
smiley face.
Good job. And congratulations to everybody, and everybody in this room has helped make this work, and many other partners besides that, so everybody take a piece of the good fortune that partnership is going to bring to creating young entrepreneurs and giving them the opportunities here in the BeachHead and creating more working situations with AMI, more people to look at the Ocean Business Park, more people to look in the industrial place, but more importantly, young entrepreneurs who are going to create jobs. And you know, jobs is what it's all about. And I will say, last night I had the opportunity to be a guest at the Atlantic Canada Entrepreneurship Awards at the Delta. 600 people there. And it was a reality of the value of what the town of Holyrood is doing to assist startups here with this BeachHead. And everybody who got up, including the winners who were from Newfoundland, and we had some tremendous winners in our own province, but in the other province, and they all talked about how they had that entrepreneurship spirit within them, and they wanted to do something. And you know, how do I get to do it? And where do I get the finances? And where do I learn all the knowledge? And you know, all of them spoke about, you know, being in the basement of their house, or being in the basement of their parents or grandparents, finally getting a spot at the dining room table or an extra table, finally dad or mom taking $300 and passing it over to them, and finally getting to the stage where they had a first investor and a first sales. And you know, some of them last night, Newfoundland companies, like some of the sales and some of the, you know, I'll give an example, East Coast Trail company that sells t-shirts, sweatshirts and everything, right? This gentleman, he's 23 years old, and Newfoundlander. He did the program at Acadia University, and his goal in doing his final project was to sell 30. Well, now he sold 30. I mean, he's internationally known now in less than years. So, and there were several of those. So this is all good. Everybody plays a part in it, so thank you to everyone for that. Roger, I'm going to get you to invite and just to speak a little bit about we have the Gender Center in our residence in the BeachHead. We also should say that we have Oceans Learning Partnership and Coastal Connections in our building also. They are not startup companies, but they are businesses in our building, and really solidifying what we're trying to do with Oceans. So Roger, will you introduce your affiliate, one of the Startup Newfoundland Labrador umbrella businesses, and then we're going to do a little presentation.
Sure. So again, the pitch for a startup is to say, hey, you just heard Gary list off ocean, 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 and that's how you win in a market. You become known for a thing. So it's also, as I said, an international thing. So we were approached in StartupNL by a young man, Francisco Ojeda. Francisco basically is in the fishery business. So something that we're supposed to be really good at, the fishery. We all hear oil and gas, but there's a lot of value in the fishery. Fishery training, equipment, expertise, and this obviously is exportable, right, Randy? Mm-hmm. So we know a thing or two. So when I met with Franco and basically talked about what Holyrood is doing, he said, yeah, like where was that all my life? This fits with what I'm doing. So had a meeting with Gary, and basically it all clicked. So the facility here suits this particular startup, and it suits it very well because it needs to get established. It enjoys working with organizations like Marine Institute, and it really gives a lot of international credibility right away. You're not just some guy working in a basement, which is always good. So the guys met, and then my brokering role was done. It was, look, that's what we do at StartupNL, put people together, see if something works. So in this case, it obviously did. And Gary said, look, this is our first ocean tech startup. And I think that's an occasion to really recognize it. So really glad to announce that today that Southern Cross Holdings is the first company in